This is how America's rich really make money. And the truth is, it has very little to do with working hard or getting lucky, and almost everything to do with how they think about money, how they position themselves inside systems, and how early they understand rules. Most people never even realize exist from the outside. It looks like success came overnight, but in reality, what you are seeing is years of quiet moves made far from the spotlight. The rich in America do not chase money the way most people do. They build structures that pull money toward them automatically while everyone else is busy trading time for paychecks. The wealthy are buying back their time using leverage systems and assets that work around the clock. The first secret is that money is not their goal. Control is their goal. Control over time, control over location, control over decisions. When you have control, money becomes a byproduct, not the main target. This is why most rich Americans never ask, how much does this pay? They ask, what does this pay me? In 5, 10 or 20 years, most people think in weeks and months. The rich think in decades, and this single difference changes everything. They understand that wealth is a game of positioning, not effort. You can work hard in the wrong place for 40 years and stay broke, or you can work smart in the right position for 5 years and never worry again. The American rich figure out early that the system rewards ownership, not participation. If you own the platform, you get paid. Even when you sleep, if you own the brand, you get paid. Even when you are quiet, if you own the asset, you get paid. Even when you are waiting. This is why they push their children toward equity, not salary, toward building, not just earning. They know that a paycheck has a ceiling and ownership does not. Another truth no one tells you is that the rich do not save their way to wealth. Saving is defensive. It protects money, but does not multiply it. The wealthy use saving only as a temporary parking lot before money is deployed into something that grows. They see cash as a tool, not a treasure. And this is why inflation hurts the poor and feeds the rich. Because the poor hold cash and the rich hold assets. When prices go up, assets expand. Debt gets cheaper and cash loses power. This is not accidental. This is how the system is designed, and those who study it early win silently. One of the most important wealth habits America's rich practice is using good debt while avoiding bad debt. Bad debt buys things that lose value and cost you every month. Good debt buys things that gain value and pay you back. The rich use other people's money to acquire assets that produce cash flow and tax advantages. They understand that taxes are not just bills, they are strategy. Most ordinary people try to earn more so they can pay more taxes. The rich structure their income so they keep more of what they make through legal strategies like business ownership, depreciation, reinvestment, and long-term capital gains. This is not cheating. This is playing by the actual rule book that most people never read. Another hard truth is that the rich do not have dozens of income streams like social media claims. They focus on 1 or 2 streams until they dominate, then they expand. Distraction is the enemy of wealth. Focus is the weapon. The rich are obsessed with leverage, leverage of people, leverage of capital, leverage of technology. One talented team can outproduce 1,000 individual workers. One well-designed system can replace years of manual effort. This is why the rich invest heavily in systems, software, processes, and networks, because once built, they scale without equal increase in effort. Most people stop when they get tired. The rich stop only when the system is complete. Another secret is that America's rich are extremely selective about who they listen to. They do not take financial advice from broke people. No matter how well-intentioned, they build small circles of people who are a little ahead of them and learn quietly from observation, not motivation. They value information that makes money boring and predictable, not exciting and risky. They understand that get rich quick is just get poor. Eventually, with better marketing, they are not emotionally attached to money. They are logically aligned with it. when an investment no longer makes sense. They exit without drama. When opportunity appears, they move without fear because they have reserved cash and plans. This calm confidence comes from preparation, not luck. One of the least talked about. Strategies is how the rich use failure differently. When most people fail, they stop. When the rich fail, they study what the system taught them. Failure is data, not identity. This is why many American millionaires failed multiple times before their big success. They were building skills, networks, and patterns that eventually connected the dots. They never look for permission from society to succeed. They do not wait for perfect conditions. They run small, calculated experiments and adjust quickly. Speed of learning beats perfection. Every time the rich also understand the power of brand, even personal. Brand your name, your company, your reputation. They know that trust compounds faster than money, which is why they play long games and avoid short-term scams. A strong brand reduces costs, attracts opportunities, and creates optionality. Most people sell their time. Once the rich sell value over and over again. This is why they write books, build companies, create media, or invest in businesses with moats. They want asymmetric returns, little downside, huge upside, and they design their lives around it. One final truth no one tells you is that the American rich do not see themselves as workers. Even when they work hard, they see themselves as builders and allocators of resources. Time, money, attention, energy. When you shift your identity from earner to owner, from employee to architect, everything changes. The game is not rigged against you, it is just explained poorly. Those who learn the rules quietly win loudly later. And this is how America's rich really make money, not by doing more, but by thinking differently, positioning smarter, and playing a long game that most people quit before it ever pays off. The next layer of how America's rich really make money involves understanding information arbitrage. They know that knowledge itself is a currency, not just skills or cash. They hunt for data. Other people ignore. They read regulations, investment reports, financial statements, and industry trends, not to get busy, but to find edge. They exploit information gaps before the market reacts. The ordinary person thinks information is free. The rich think information is power, and they pay for it because what you pay for is sometimes more valuable than what you get for free. Every decision they make is informed by multiple scenarios. They ask, what if this happens? What if this fails? How will this move the market? How will this move my position? They run numbers, calculate risks, and only then act. They understand that emotion is a liability and patience is an asset, while everyone else is chasing the next trend or panic selling during volatility. The rich use volatility as opportunity. They know when to step in and when to wait. They understand that the world is never going to be perfect, and waiting for perfect conditions is how most people stay poor. They recognize patterns in economy, in technology, in human behavior, in policy, and then align resources accordingly. This is why the American rich often invest in companies before the rest of the public has heard of them. They spot trends long before they become obvious, and by the time others notice, the upside is already captured. Another critical secret is network arbitrage. Your network is your net worth. The rich spend time around people who push them forward. They do not waste energy on negative or passive connections. Every relationship is strategic, not just social. They understand the value of mentors, advisors, and partnership. Their circles are tight but highly leveraged. Each connection multiplies opportunities, learning speed, and access to capital. They attend private events, industry conferences, and meetings where decisions happen behind closed doors. The ordinary person shows up to social media. They show up where money flows silently and consistently. Another layer is tax optimization. The rich plan years ahead. They structure businesses so that income flows through entities that maximize legal deductions and minimize exposure. They use corporations, trusts, and partnerships not to hide money but to harness tax codes strategically. This strategy frees up cash to reinvest into more assets and systems that produce greater returns. They understand the compounding effect of early action. A dollar invested today can grow hundreds or thousands over decades. But the key is to start early and let time work as a partner, not an enemy. They also focus on scalable income sources. They create businesses or investments that can grow without them hands-on. Every moment, they build infrastructure that allows other people to produce results for them. This is why business owners often out-earn top executives, even if the executives work twice as hard. The rich leverage systems, technology, and people. They understand that cash flow is king, not just net worth. Without consistent cash flow, wealth is fragile. They diversify strategically, but not randomly. They invest in markets, real estate, intellectual property, startups, and alternative assets. Because each class provides different risk-reward profile and protects against economic shocks, they know when to hold and when to exit. The poor and middle class often hodl emotionally or sell panically, while the rich move with data and strategy. Finally, they understand their relationship with time. Time is the only resource you cannot replace. Money, talent, or information can be replaced, but not time. The rich prioritize tasks that multiply their time. They automate, outsource,